The lesson that we're going to talk about today in advanced pre-algebra is the first unit, lesson 1, adding and subtracting fractions with negatives. The homework that goes with this is page 2 and 3 in the homework packet. Do not forget about 30 minutes of time by Sunday night, and your problem of the week is due on Friday. Now, this is the first page in your note packet. We're going to do a warm-up. These are problems that I would expect you to already be able to do, simplifying fractions and going from mixed to improper or improper to mixed. So, simplify 7/49. To do that, I can divide both numerator and denominator by 7 and I get 1/7. 5 over 45, divide them both by 5, and I get 1/9. That's simplified or reduced. 18 over 42, I can divide by 6, and I will get 3/7. 16/8 divided by 6, and I get 1/3. Now, mixed to improper, or improper to mix. 14 goes into 48 3 times. And if you do 3 times 40, 14 times 3, you get, 42. So my remainder is 6/14. But I need to reduce that. 3 and 3/7. Change this mixed number to improper. 15 times 4 is 60, plus 9 is 69 15. Now, I would expect that you could already do those, but that's just a review. Now, we are going to add and subtract fractions. I'm going to do a quick review of the basics, and then we're going to go on to some that are a little bit more complicated with positives and negatives. When you add or subtract, you need to have a common denominator, and with positives and negative fractions, you treat them just like integers. So, let's review. -5 plus -3 is -8. When the signs are the same, you add and keep the sign. 8 plus -10 is -2. They're different, so I subtract and keep the sign larger, and this will be 6. All right. Now, fractions, basics. Let's do this first one, 1/9 plus 5/6. Common denominator here will be 18. Because 6 and 9 both go into 18. You want to find the least common multiple. So, I need to multiply this fraction by 2, because 9 times 2 is 18, so I'll 2 18. And I need to multiply this fraction by 3, so I'll 15 18. When I add, I get 17 18, and I'm done. That is a basic adding fraction. Let's do a mixed number. I like to do mixed numbers by stacking them. 4 1/2 plus 3 2/3. Again, when you're doing adding or subtracting of mixed numbers, you need to find a common denominator. So I'm going to have 4, and common denominator is going to be 6 plus 3 and something, 6. This one, I multiply both by 3, and I'll have 3 6. This one, I'm multiplying both by 2, and I get 4 6. Now, when I add 4 and 3 6 plus 3 and 4 6, I get 7 and 7 6. But I do not leave it written like that because this is an improper fraction. 6 goes into 7 one time. So this is 1 and 1 6. But I already have this 7. So my final answer is 8 and 1 6. All right. Let's take a look at subtracting fractions and mixed numbers. Let's do a basic one. Let's do this one. Common denominator will be 15. So 8/15 minus this, I'm going to multiply by 3. So I'll 6/15. 8/15 minus 6/15 is 2/15. Easy enough. Let's do one of these mixed numbers. I'm going to do this one. 7 and 7/30 minus 3 and 5/6. Again, I need to find a common denominator. So, common denominator for 30 and 6 will be 30. So the top fraction, 7 and 7/30, I'm not going to touch. Minus 3 and What do I need to multiply 6 by to make it 30? I need to multiply by 5, so 25 30th. Now, look at the fraction part. 7 30th minus 25 30th I cannot do. So I need to borrow or rename. I'm going to make this 7 into a 6. And I'm borrowing a 1. So the one that I'm borrowing is 30 30th. 6 and 30 30th is the same as 7. But I already have 7 30th. So this 30 30th plus this 7 30th makes this 37 30th. Right? 30 30th plus 7 30th, 37 30th. Now I subtract. 37 30th minus 25 30th is 12 30th. 6 minus 3 is 3. So 3 and 12 30th, but I need to reduce. I can divide these both by 6, and I will get 3 and 2 fifths. All right, now those are your basic problems from elementary school. Now we are going to do all of this stuff with positive and negative fractions. So, look at this. Negative 4 fifths plus 8 fifths. Well, it has a common denominator, so that's easy. But this is adding. So when we add, and the signs are different, don't we subtract and take the sign larger? So I'm going to subtract these. 8 fifths minus 4 fifths is 4 fifths. The 8 fifths is bigger, so it's going to be positive 4 fifths. Let's do this one. Negative 4 tenths plus 1 half. Well, let's find a common denominator of 10. So negative 4 tenths plus 5 tenths. Again, look, signs are different, so I subtract. 5 tenths minus 4 tenths is 1 tenth, and it's going to be positive because I keep the sign larger. Let's take a look at this one. Negative 2 and 3 fifths plus negative 2 and 2 thirds. I am adding. Since I'm adding, the signs are the same, so I add and keep the sign. So I'm going to do 2 and 3 fifths plus 2 and 2 thirds. I'm adding because the signs are the same. Well, to add these, I need to find a common denominator. So 2 and, this is going to be 15. So 9 15 plus 2 and 10 15. When I add, I get 4 and 19 15. I need to rename. 15 goes into 19 one time. That's going to make that 5. My remainder is going to be 4 15. But let's not forget that these were both negative. So my answer is going to be negative 5 and 4 15. All right, subtraction. When you are doing subtracting, don't you change it to add the opposite. Make 2 marks. So change this to add. What's the opposite of negative 2 sevenths? Positive 2 sevenths. I made my 2 marks. Now let's look at it. Negative 4 sevenths plus 2 sevenths. They are different. So I subtract 4 sevenths minus 2 sevenths is 2 sevenths, and take the sign a little larger. Negative 2 sevenths. One more. Change this to add the opposite. Make 2 marks. I need to find now they're both negative. So when they're both negative, I add and keep the sign. So I'm going to add these. But they're going to be 18ths is the common denominator. So I'll multiply this by 2. So negative 10 18ths, multiply this by 9, and negative 9 18ths. When they are the same, you add and keep the sign. So negative 19 18ths, which is negative 1 and 1 18.